Yes, no problem.
Start please.
I believe the public opinion in this issue is divided. I know that most of the people don't really care about the price of the gift, and what really matters is the thought that the person gives when getting a gift. And that's why I can see a lot of people getting handmade gifts for each other during special occasions. For example, they can be crocheted gifts, some scarf, some little doll that represents something, or they can just write a gift card with some flowers attached. But on the other hand, I know that some people, especially women, expect some gifts during special occasions like Valentine's Day, 8th March, and the prices for such gifts can be high most of the time. But even then, I believe that they don't really care about the price. They just want to get some nice gift.
So yeah, instead of they pay attention to the value of the gift, yeah, rather than the price of the gift.
Yes.
So, okay. Thank you, Hassan, for taking part in the part one. I think that there will not be any problems about the part one in the PhD exam. So let's pass to the part two, maybe. In the part two, you have a six reason, but we can choose four out of six. So about the two for the part four and about the two for the against part. In the exam, you will have a 2 minutes to think and to opt about the reasons, and after that you must clarify, for example, what the really means, the reason. I think you have 2 minutes to think about the for, about the against, and let's regulate this one to see the clearly. So Hasan, let's start. We have 2 minutes to explain our opinion. Start.
Many people believe that owning a private car can be a little bit problematic in case of governments and people aspects, and there are multiple reasons that support and go against this idea. First of all, it is said that when we have more cars, there will be more accidents, and I agree with this opinion. It is statistically possible that if there are more cars, it means that there will be more inexperienced drivers, and in a busy road, they are more likely to cause an accident. Second reason for this opinion is the fact that many roads are not very well maintained in order to handle a lot of traffic. And this is especially the case for roads in the countryside, and they cannot accommodate a lot of cars at one time, and there always be heavy congestion in those roads if there are a lot of cars. And I also believe that owning a car gives a lot of advantages for individuals. For example, they can freely travel whenever they want and wherever they want. They are not dependent on a schedule, for example, with a bus or a train. So they can just go to a vacation to the countryside. And also, it is more convenient to use a private car in order to travel with a family because you can have kids and they will be less comfortable in a bus or a train. That's why owning a car can make your experience a little bit more convenient.
So, okay. Hasan, do you find it so difficult? Do you find it challenging to drive a car in Baku, in your opinion? It is so challenging.
I think nowadays, yes, not only because there is a lot of traffic, but there are also many inexperienced drivers out there that violate some rules and cause accidents.
Are you good at driving a car? Do you drive generally or not?
I only drive in the uh, countryside. I never drive
On
in
the
the city.
on the countryside. Okay, as you are the freshman in this topic.
Yes.
So, okay. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying. And the last one is about the part three. The last part is the speaking part of the PhD exam. You know that we will have a 1 minute to think in the exam and 1 minute to speak about this one. 1 minute to to think. Your time started. Okay, Hasan, start please.
People believe that driving a car is very stressful and it can lead to your day being even more stressful. And I agree with this opinion, especially in the case of driving in the city, where there's always a lot of traffic and there are a lot of accidents. So you need to be more careful. Driving is a very precise action and it requires constant attention, and you need to be constantly concentrated on the road at your surroundings. That's why you always need to be awake. Just one moment of sleepiness can cause some bad situations. And also during traffic, there will always be some constant noise of beeping. There will be drivers that don't know what they're doing when they're driving. So that's going to contribute to the stress levels of a human, and that will in turn at the end make you a more stressful person at the end of the day.
Start
The
please.
picture the given picture illustrates what seems to be a parade due to some celebration. We can see that on the foreground there's an old man with his granddaughter, and they are walking along the parade. The old man is very well dressed. He has a suit and a flag over his shoulder that goes down to his waist, and his granddaughter is holding an umbrella. The people in the background are very cheerful. They're taking pictures, taking videos, and they are carrying beautiful flower bouquets in their hands. And overall, it seems like a happy and cheerful holiday celebration.
So, okay. Uh, Hasan, do you have any ceremonies in our country which you adore? Any ceremonies? Which ceremonies is specially for you? Is special for you? Do you have any ceremonies or not? It can be the whole day, maybe.
Because I'm an introverted person and I like staying at home, I'm going to answer that I don't like ceremonies in particular.
I think that you are not an introvert person. Just we are the person, for example, who want to communicate with you. Just must find out your vessel. Damarımız tutmalıdır.
Maybe that's also true.
Maybe. Yeah. I think that Behrus teacher didn't catch your vessel. So, okay. What about the second question? You have 1 minute to speak, 1 minute to think firstly, then we will start to speak. Okay, Hasan, let's launch.
The most famous festival that I know in our country is the Nowruz festival that gets celebrated every year in the early spring. And this festival is supposed to announce the welcoming of spring season. And during this festival, people at their homes decorate a samani. They paint some eggs. They prepare 7 dishes that start with S. And outside in the neighborhoods, the kids build bonfires, which usually are very large. And then once it burns and becomes smaller, they start jumping over it. And they believe that when they jump over it, all of their bad luck and bad experiences in the past year will burn in the fire, and they will move on to the next year with better luck.
So, generally, do you like the Nowruz ceremony, even if you don't celebrate?
Not really. I only like shakarbra that I get to
Uh,
eat
just
during Nowruz.
only you are in favor of the eating day, which is what is prepared in on Nowruz Day. Okay, good.
Yes.
So, okay, I think that it's a good side of not only the Nowruz but also all the holidays. So let's turn into the last part of the part one. Uh-huh. Okay, Hasan, let's start.
I think that carnivals, with huge respect to Nowruz festival, play an important role in shaping our culture. First of all, we can always see that during Nowruz festival, people dress up with traditional clothes and they perform traditional dances, and they try to keep the traditions alive, which is a good thing in terms of uh, keep remembering our history. But also during the Norse festival, all of the family gets together, and especially in the era of technology where everybody has busy lives and they are very, the kids are usually occupied with their iPads and phones. This type of get together for the family is very important, and it helps family relationships to get even stronger.
So, okay, good. You know that ceremonies are playing an important role in the getting stronger the family ties. So, okay, part one is so good, I think, that in terms of getting the highest point in the exam. Let's turn into the part two. But in terms of keep, no, Hasan, in terms of keeping, I think that must be most suitable. I think that if I'm not mistaken, you said in terms of keep, and after preposition, you know that we use the ing in terms of keeping.
Yes.
Okay. So let's turn into the part two. Okay, Hasan, start please.
So a lot of people think that scientists should conduct most of their experiments on animals, such as rats, but there are divided opinions on this topic. And first of all, I agree with this opinion because although I don't have specific examples in my mind, I know that a lot of medical and psychological advancements in science have been made through doing these tests on animals, and some of these tests can be dangerous for humans. That's why, for the purpose of saving human lives, we can conduct these experiments on animals. And next, we have the case of making new discoveries about the animal and giving advantages to those animals rather than just getting discoveries for humans, because when scientists are experimenting for the cure for a certain disease on an animal, they can accidentally stumble upon something new, some new discovery about that animal, and that can be very crucial to that animal and how that animal is being handled. But on the other hand, the protocols that get used while testing on animals are a lot of include a lot of painful procedures. For example, a psychological study that I know used learning on rats, the conditional learning technique. They would give electricity shock to rats, and this is a lot of pain for their small bodies. And lastly, I believe that we cannot always make some experiments on the animals and
Mm-hmm.
conclude that these experiments will translate to humans.
Just the hummus. Okay, good. I think that this topic is so a bit complicated, and practice is much important in that kind of topic to remind to come to lots of ideas to our mind in this topic. I think that this is a bit confusing topic, and that's why practice is much more important in that kind of complicated topic. So, okay, the last one of the speaking part and part three, you have a 1 minute to sing, and after 1 minute, we will launch speaking. So, okay, Hassan, launch please about this one.
So I believe that I agree that people should be more considerate about animals, and they should realize that animals are important to us, not only to the humans, but also to the nature itself. Uh, this isn't just about street animals. I see a lot of the time that people disrespect street animals and they, perform bad actions against them, but also the animals out in the nature. We need to protect their environment, we need to respect them, and we need to make sure that they can live in the same planet as us. This is due to the fact that nature has a cycle and animals play an important role in the cycle. For example, birds carry an important role in terms of spreading seeds of the trees, and they also get rid of some pests. But pests on the on their own also get rid of something in the nature. So everything has a role, and we need to protect the nature as the way it is.
Okay, Hasan, are you fond of animals?
Personally, yes, and my favorite animal are cats.
Or cat? Why cat? What's special for you about the cat?
Because I believe that cats are similar to me in terms of personality.
Good. So Hasan, thank you for taking part in the speaking part. So inshallah, I will send the link again on Thursday at the same time. At 10 o'clock is suitable for you.
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay, Sam, I will give you a chance. I think that to sleep the one more hour. So at 10 o'clock,
Yeah,
I think that 9 o'clock is so early. I think that maybe there you are, so you feel the so exhausting after the tiring day, and that's why I will give a chance to sleep the one more hour. So after that, inshallah today I will send the trial exam for you about the PhD exam. It's a bit a complicated exam, and if you have a chance, uh, for example, I would be so pleased if you finish these tests till the end of the day. So I will set the writing part and all of them with the answers. So if you have a chance today, finish, and if you if you are not have time today, you can complete it tomorrow. Don't worry about this one.
I will try.
Okay, you will try.